file number 27 CR20-12646. We, the jury, in the above entitled matter as to count 1, unintentional second-degree murder while committing a felony, find the defendant guilty.
Raging rivers of gold. That's what the brochure advertised.
Our special guest just had him come into the room. Everybody, please welcome Tom Thummery.
On this episode of Omegle.
No, I'm here, and your white privileges are going to save you tonight, okay, guys?
That's right. It's time for the Dog and Chicken Show. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Dog and Chicken Show, and we are also simulcasting on KOE Nation on Twitch.
I know.
Whatever, we're whores that way. So go ahead.
Oh yes. Well, what can I say? I mean, my kingdom grows and expands by the day, and I figured it was time for some history for the. I mean, basically, guys, this is bigger than when Raw and Nitro simulcast together. This is the simulcast of Big Buckin' Empire and KOE Nation. This is probably the most important simulcast in all history. So, Big Buckin' Empire, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. KOE Nation, YouTube and Twitch coming together for the now, is it just me, guys? Is it just me? Or is this going to be the best Dog and Chicken Show ever? Am I wrong? I think this one's going to be actually the best one we've ever done. And for those who don't know, I am the devilishly handsome outlaw himself, your king of extreme, Phil KOE, the prince and potentate of the political parlance, the lord of the Scottish Highland, the baron of baldness and bourbon, and I am hoping to prove to all of you people why I am the emperor of the Big Buckin' Empire.
Oh, God.
Joined by
Jesus
my
fuck.
indomitable broadcast partners, the one and only Chicken and Tony. Gentlemen, how are we doing this evening?
Great. Thanks for the intro there, Phil. Tony, how you doing tonight, man?
Wonderful. I'm doing fucking great. As Yanked Up said, Tony fucking G. Like, share, subscribe, folks. It's the right thing to do. What are we drinking? Because I'm having a little bit of Wild Turkey 101 myself. I gave the folk on my Snapchat the deciding factor, and 4 to like 2 to 1 bourbon.
Went with my bullet bourbon to start, and then when I decide to get a little crazy, and we want to see me drink a half a bottle of scotch again, I don't have to work tomorrow, so we're gonna hit up this Jura 10-year. I hit it with Lynn, but I was already wasted when I started, so I don't remember how it tastes. So we're gonna hit it up again tonight.
Oh my! Now, it's fascinating. Chicken's drinking bourbon. Tony's drinking bourbon. I also elected to go with bourbon tonight, and it's a new favorite of mine, the new Maker's Mark limited release Fatty Acid Ester 01. This is the first release this year. There's going to be another one later this year. This is the fruit forward expression with notes of tobacco and wood. 10 virgin toasted American oak staves. Oh, this is some good stuff. If you can find it, get your hands on it. It's like cherry pie. I don't know how else to describe it.
Yeah, it's really good. It's a spicy one, but damn, is it good.
Yeah, the sweet cuts all the heat. Like, you're drinking. Let me see here, 55.3% ABV. So it's a spicy one, but it's also so sweet. So this one hits a lot of. It's a good first drink of the night drink, and so that's what I'm going with this evening.
Awesome. Drinking words. What did we have tonight, Tony?
Okay, so we have got. Oh boy, here they come back.
And Tony, your mic might be hooked up to your webcam again.
I'll double check it.
Well, in that meantime, while Tony's also pulling up the drinking words,
Boom, done. Already happened. Mute
This
gate.
rapscallion ne'er-do-well chicken, he is abusing his powers as Thane of the Lord of the Scottish Highlands Kingdom. Oh, whoa, and we lost Tony even? Or chicken accidentally booted Tony?
Rabble. Here we go. Okay, I think he's back. There we go. Ah! Shuffle.
Yeah,
All right.
I don't know. I had that all set and ready to go, and then I turned my Bluetooth AirPods on, and it completely fucked it up. I don't know. Weird.
Anyway, all right,
Hey,
we're good.
somebody-
What's the drinking words tonight, Tony? That's where we're at.
Bring it on.
All right, so we've got trial, judge, AOC, and if Tony's kids interrupt the show.
Bound to happen, folks.
You know, that seems like those would be things that might come up.
Yeah.
I don't know why. You know, those words might happen a time or two. So before we start officially, one more time, Tony, the words are
What the?
he lost judge,
Yeah.
trial,
AOC.
and if Tony's any of his children or pups or little Von children of any kind come and interrupt the show. Yeah, now, well,
It sounds like we got connection problems on Tony's end. That's
or
all
that
right.
was
He'll-
the first interruption, so we all got
Could have
through it.
been. Yeah, fuck it. Let's drink. That sounds good to me.
So, chicken, you know, when we started this show, it's a very unenviable task because it's just such a slow news week. There's really not been anything
I know.
happening. There's nothing to really talk about. Like, I was thinking, it just really hasn't been those big events this week.
I really considered just skipping this week
Sorry,
because I was
guys,
like,
we know.
man, I don't know of what we're going to talk about. If there's anything to talk about, who we'll talk about. God damn it. Every time I try to add him, he adds himself. Hey, you look better now. Hey, welcome to the show, Tony. How you doing tonight?
Hey, I'm doing great. I'm drinking some wild turkey. The drinking word.
All right, we're all caught up now. No, we're just talking about how there's like no news this week, and we were gonna skip this week because it was just like nothing going on, no celebrity tweets to get upset about, and no big trials of the century. And,
Drink.
oh shit, I said it. Forgot.
That didn't take long.
No, it didn't.
Yeah. No.
Danger.
Yep. This is gonna be a fun one, like when I made a drinking word Godzilla and he was on the fucking background.
Yeah, that was a bad idea.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, we all got a little shit face that night.
Yeah, it was ugly. So, no, you're right. It was a very slow week. There's really nothing to talk about. So let's just wing this one. Let's just completely.
Yeah,
I mean, just
It's
wing
gonna
it
go
and see where
like-
it goes.
like free jazz. Dootin' dabba dooba dabba doo daddle doo ba da doo.
Beat up.
Was
All right. That's
oh, come on, chicken. We had a
God.
thing going. But yeah, so I was just
Kind
gonna
of.
like kind of smooth jazz into the headlines of the day. Beat up ba 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 da boop boop. LeBron James tweet ba da ba da ba ba ba.
Oh, is that where we're gonna start?
Like, yeah, we've been all over the place. Well, I think we do have to address the first thing, the most important thing. And chicken, if I may, I would like a moment to address all the audience and address everyone. It's been a hell of a week in American history. It's been quite a week for all of us. And there's been a lot of questions about, let's just rip the Band-Aid off, the trial that's been going on, the controversy surrounding it. Now, the question is, do you agree with the jury or not? And what I'm going to say is, does it matter? Does it actually matter? Because first of all, I'd like to say I thank the jury. They had an incredibly unenviable task. It's something that I don't suspect any of you would want to do, and I know I probably didn't want to go do that. And so you have to realize that no matter what your analysis is, you saw this much. You saw this much of what actually happened there. The jurors saw this much. They made their decisions with this much information, while you are making it with this much. No matter how much you've been following this case, that has been their entire lives during the time they were sequestered. So I thank the jury. They did their duty. And I like honestly, Chicken and I, we were talking before this. It's like, is it going to go this way? Is it going to go that way? Regardless, they performed an unenviable task. I thank them for it. I was figuring manslaughter and murder 3 were going to be slam dunk. Murder 2, I didn't know about. And when we did get the final verdict of, I don't want to say it, not innocent. Hey, I got around it. When we did get the final verdict, that was at the end. That's what a jury of his peers decided, whether you agree with it or disagree with it. And it's one of those things. I've been called to jury duty once, and I encourage everybody. You should try to do it sometime. It's quite an experience. Chicken, Tony, what was your thoughts on all that?
There's a lot of thoughts I had through the whole thing. I was very surprised, kind of as you were going through, is all 3 of it being guilty. Let's drink.
Hey, Justin Motes, how we doing?
Yeah, I was shocked that it was G's across the board there with all 3 counts, and then there's a few things that got me worried right away. I'm like, well, the media gaslighting, and you mentioned, the jury being sequestered, which was very late. There was a request for them to be sequestered long before that. These people are driving through a city where they're seen, and they still have social media. They're seeing the news outlets are really heavily swayed in one way on this trial, no matter what they seen in court footage or whatever. But then you had a few of those, I don't even know if you can call them moderate anymore, but middle of the road type people. You get your Tim Pool sitting there saying, whoa, whoa, whoa. This was a really, really, I don't know if it like the weird thing was like how they're calling it out. Like it's like our championship sports team won. I was like, dude, somebody died and another guy just got thrown in prison, probably for the rest of his life. I don't know if you want to compare this to sports teams. That's pretty fucked up. That aside, like, I don't know if this was a fair trial. I'm not going to die on the hill for Derek Chauvin, though. Fuck that. Like, I'm more worried about the view of our judicial system. We talk about this on the show all the time, how our executive branch has very little, respect these days, whether you're left or right, depending on who's in office. At different given 4-year terms, you may not like a certain executive branch member or however it goes. But then you get the Senate and Congress. Nobody gives a shit about them. We all know they're all fucking paid liars and professional liars. And so we're all like, oh, at least the judicial system isn't tainted and there won't be any fuckery going on there. Well, some people won't think there was, but there's a lot that do. And that's scary to me. We've seen so much shit happen in the last year. And there's some people that are crazy enough to die on the Hill, not for Chauvin. I ain't gonna die on the Hill for Chauvin by any means, but there's some people that will when you think of who do I turn to now? When what is it? The four boxes of liberty. I'm trying to remember. It was like the box of soap. It's the
soap box, the ballot box, then the bullet box,
the jury box, and then the bullet box.
Yep,
and you're supposed to go in that order. Yeah, and that's what I'm worried about is. We've just went through the first 3 boxes. To some people, they might go to box number 4 now. That's what I worry about with this whole situation in this trial specifically. Tony, what were your thoughts?
Well, I think all 3 of us were talking right before the verdict was handed down, and right up until the very end there, we were all kind of thinking along the same lines, like, yeah, manslaughter, it's going to piss some people off, but it's probably going to be about right given the situation and him being a cop, et cetera, et cetera. And then it was quick, it was fast, and we're like, oh, wow, oh, boy. And yeah, guilty, holy shit, here we go.
Thanks.
It's not officially on the ticker. I need to add it.
But yeah, Alisto TV said, spaghetti tactic they did will probably get Chauvin walking. Chauvin, without a doubt, should have been tried and convicted of murder 3, but murder 2, they can't prove. That was why I was thinking murder 2. But yeah, this trial, according to Alisto TV, this trial wasn't fair at all. I won't die on this hill for him, but I will say Chauvin didn't get a, in quotes, fair trial.
Agreed.
Alisto TV, the judge should done a mistrial and relocated the courtroom.
Yep.
That's very tough because you're asking the judge to surrender their own power, and Michael Flynn saw how hard that is. Like that generally does not happen very often. So you're asking the judge to give up jurisdiction over a case, and that's usually. So to me, in my opinion, like if I would have been a juror on this case, I would have worked backwards and said, okay, manslaughter. We can all pretty much agree
That's
on
an
manslaughter.
easy one. Yep. Boom.
Yeah.
And then work your way up to murder too. I suspect this jury, like it sounds like they probably started at the question of murder too, and then if that was settled yes or no, then the rest kind of just fell into place. Now, I'm not speculating. We'll get the
I wanted to
books in a
touch
few
quick
years, but
on something you said, Phil, on well, I mean, you said a lot, but when you said you saw this much and the jurors saw this much, I want everybody to keep that in mind when they're talking about this and discussing this with people they know, whether it's on social media or in person. It doesn't matter. The problem with this is it's kind of the same thing with the people that are discussing this. I mean, even and that includes us 100%. Everybody except the jurors got to see most of the evidence. You know, the cops
Or
got
the
to see,
people in Minneapolis got to see this much.
Right. And you cannot base your entire feelings off of this trial and this entire situation based off of what you've seen people share on social media. Like, especially this last week, I've seen nothing but the memes and the fear-mongering pictures that make everything look bad. I'm just like, and it goes both ways. You can't base your feelings off of this solely off of that shit, because it's incredibly misleading. This is why fact checkers got as big as they were, because I'm looking at that going, how is there not a fact check bubble on this one? That's pretty fucking egregious right there. But you've got to look at it from several angles if you really want to have an honest opinion of this. And Chicken, you mentioned the sports team reaction from people when the verdict was handed out.
Oh, it was gross. That was so gross.
It is. It's gross as hell. But remember what, 6 months ago?
I like me my sports, but damn it.
Yeah, hell. But
Not
remember,
like
last year we were talking about this when there were no sports. What replaced sports? The presidential election. And now we're just starting to get crowds back in sports, and sports have yet to really make a full comeback. So yet again, another fill-in for Major League Sports. So what's next? I mean, is it going to be the continuation? Is it going to be the appeal process of this? Is it going to be him? It's just going to keep going and going. We're latching on to these very uncomfortable current events and treating them like we have some personal investment in them, like we very much do with sports teams. And I think that's where a lot of the tension comes from.
I got to get a few things in here first.
Of course.
Well, I mean, my adoring public awaits. Forgive the piss poor English guys. No, you're doing fine. And I always say,
Very fine.
If it happens not to be your first language, if English isn't your first language, I always commend people that get into political or philosophical debates in languages that are not their first one. And if it is, don't worry about it. But grow the farm up. KOE is straight thugging. Thank you. That is a very true statement. Check out Grow the Farm Up on YouTube, folks. Great channel. Getting into regenerative agriculture. Good stuff. Alesto TV. Here's, according to Alesto TV, and he writes, here is the reason it isn't murder too. Quote, second-degree murder is generally defined as intentional murder that lacks premeditation. They can say Chauvin wanted to intentionally kill George on many counts. For instance, him pulling him out of the car, pulling Taser first, and others. We will have to see how the appeal goes. And
this is good. Let me say this one.
Oh,
Urasama.
Go ahead.
Nowadays, people watch their sports for politics and politics for sports. And that is something we'll be touching on at some point. But good God, it is back asswards. And it's unfortunate because whether or not you agree with politicians, or you think they're all talking heads, or you think they're puppets, whatever, I'd still rather, trust the politicians to do the political stuff before I trust somebody who dribbles a ball and gets paid trillions of dollars to share their political opinion.
Oh, shots
fired. Jinx.
Dang it, Tyler.
Drink. All right.
We'll all take an extra drink for you, sir, since you
Is shots an acronym for something?
No, he's wanting us to take shots because he's having to work right now.
Shots, an acronym, Shitty Hose of the Sahara. I think that's it.
Grow the Farm
Sounds-
Up. Preach
sounds
on,
good.
Urasama. Yes, thank you for joining us. Grow the Farm Up and Urasama. But yeah, the appeals process, I think, okay, like I said, if I had to bet money on this, if I was forced to bet money, I would have bet money on manslaughter, murder 3, no murder 2. That's what I would have bet money on if, like, you know, one of those you have no choice, put yourself in whatever silly hypothetical where you can't leave until you've done this bet. So that's what I would have bet on.
Yeah.
There
So,
was
murder-
a alternate juror that did get interviewed already.
Oh, God.
And this is one of the things when it comes to we're talking about, you know, will there be a, you know, appeals court? What's going to happen there? I guarantee we're going to see something, but I got some weird takes on this, by the way. But so this lady, she was an alternate, but she stated several times throughout this interview that she locked eyes with Chauvin, and so she felt uncomfortable and thought he was guilty. And like she had a lot of emotional responses, and very little responses were because of evidence presented. She said that Dr. Tobin was the turning point for her, but other than that, most of what she talks about was really about like personal experience and things that she like really took to heart that way. It was kind of scary to see it that way. But then, so when it comes to these jurors coming to speak out, all right, plug your ears, kids. If you don't want to hear this, it would have cost $1 billion in rioting if they did not get 3 Gs across the board.
Yep.
Now, you lock the guy up for 5-10 years, go through appeals, let it drag out over time, things calm down, Minneapolis moves on, and comes out, you know, he wins the appeal all the way across the board, gets completely acquitted of everything, and they pay him $100 to $200 million for, you know, time served. It's a lot fucking cheaper, not only for Minneapolis, but for the entire country.
Yeah. That's the worst part about it is that you have to look at it.
I'm just looking at it like a business sense.
I agree, but it's so gross that you have to look at it that way and think, well, is it better that he got fucked over for everybody else? Like, it doesn't matter if you think he got fucked over or not. Like, you have to look at it that way. If you agree that he got fucked over, or if you don't, you have to think about it like that, because you know the response was going to be just absolutely brutal. And it was still brutal, but it's nowhere near what it could have been. I agree 100%, but man, and now I'm just thinking, all I can think about is the response, like you said, like a sports team. But Urasama says they're rioting anyway. Well, that's not rioting.
Kinda.
That's called celebrating.
It's mostly peaceful protesting.
Mostly peaceful celebration. Yeah.
Now,
that's it.
I want to bring up something, and it's something I've thought, and Chicken, you mentioned it like just briefly, and it was at the sentencing, or not the sentencing, when the verdicts were rendered. And you even mentioned it like, Tony, can you get a picture of Chauvin with that weird look in his eyes?
Yeah.
Now, I think, again, you can't ignore emotion, because I think the big thing here, and I think that what really put this over the top and probably made all 3 guilties, is there was a distinct lack of empathy on the part of Chauvin at every single point, even when it was revealed that he knew that Floyd's heart had stopped. He did not change his actions at that point. And then when he's getting this read, like Scott Adams, also, who I put a lot of weight into what he has to say, the same day he was saying, you know, there's just something wrong about the way he was looking when all that happened. And like everybody's kind of got this weird, like, there's just something kind of, I don't know how else to put it, just sort of wrong with how that all, like, yeah, there we go. I don't know exactly how to put it, but yeah, there was just, something very distinctly off, and even I couldn't put my finger on it at the time.
Well,
And I found it it kind of compels me that me, Chicken, Scott Adams, just about everybody else that I listen to in God's green earth kind of has this same like, yeah, that was weird, wasn't it? Like, I don't know what to make of it, but yeah, I was like,
That's
that was
the
kinda
only
weird.
way I could describe his eyes through that whole thing was weird
Yeah.
eyes.
Yeah.
it is. It's weird. It's
He's like-
very weird.
He's like, "Am I guilty? Oh my god, I'm guilty. Oh
Well,
shit, I just
it's
got
like
found
he's
guilty."
rattling it around in his head, like he doesn't understand the situation. Like he's removed from the situation completely. It's very strange to see somebody completely like out of their like. It's like he's having an out of body experience, like watching it happen. I don't know,
Yeah.
and I'm sure that the situation is one of those very emotional things. So you could tack it up to that, but. You're right, Phil. It's the steps of lack of empathy the entire way through. Now, I don't care if you think George Floyd was the biggest piece of shit in the world. I don't care if you think he's a hero or anything in between. You have to take into account why this was so swift, why the guilty verdict came down. There's many reasons why it came down. And Chicken touched on the response to the sentencing
Money, money,
and the
money.
verdict. It's the culture that surrounds this entire thing. That's another.
Can somebody do
reason.
the Shane McMahon money dance while Tony's talking?
I'm not
It's like-
doing that. No, don't do that. Jesus. But specifically, if you got to go back to the incident itself, and it's right there. It's the lack of empathy. It's seeing the guy up close in the court and seeing that lack of empathy. Like you said, 7 minutes into the 9.5 minutes, he was kneeling on George Floyd. 2 minutes left before he got up, and there was no pulse, and he did nothing about it. He didn't change like this. We talked about this in the group chat the other day. The position of police officer on that kind of level does attract a specific kind of person, and a lot of those specific kind of people, unfortunately, get drunk on the power of authority. It attracts people who take that authority to another level, and once you give them that authority, they kind of run rampant with it, and that's where a lot of the problems stemming from police brutality are coming from, because the job attracts that. It's not so much the training, because training is different across the board, across the country. It's the type of person that wants to take that job and why they want to do it. And if you're a guy like Chauvin, you can see it in his eyes. You can see it in his rap sheet as a police officer that he's not exactly a great guy. He's kind of a piece of shit. And he had how many reports of being a bad police officer
12.
under his rap exactly before this happened. So
Video evidence
not-
of 2.
Well,
Well,
Yeah.
how many years was he with him? Like, here's the deal. Like, nobody likes cops. You're going to have complaints, right? Now, maybe he had 2 other ones that were kind of shitty. I don't know. I haven't watched the video. I've just heard about them. But like, I find a cop that's been on the street and arresting people for over 1 year that doesn't have a complaint. I mean, unless you're in a small town, like find any large city, like people don't like the confrontation with police, whether they're doing anything wrong or not. That's just human nature. You're like, no, let me do my thing. Like, even though it's illegal, but
well,
yeah,
I'll take it back to like a
I do
year
too.
ago.
I get pissed when I
no,
get pulled over, even though I'm
I agree.
speeding. It's like my
You're
own
right.
fucking fault, but I'm pissed.
You're
Like,
right. And I had my wife and I and the kids, it was like 2 years ago, I think. We were parked outside of Walmart. It was like middle of winter. It was about the coldest it could possibly be. 2 out of 3 kids at the time had ear infections, and we had a whole cartload of shit. So she pulls up, next to the door off to the side where you're not supposed to fucking park, right? We know you're not supposed to park there, but everybody fucking does it, and it's freezing. And I'm trying to get the kids in the car quick, get them out of the cold, out of the store, into the car as quickly as possible, throw the bags in and go. Well, of course, this is the night that 2 cops are, patrolling the parking lot. Here they come, and they were so eager to be fucking dicks about it, like just overly eager to be dickheads about it. Now, granted, they let us off with a warning, but not before they got to swing their dicks around, and that irked me. I mean, I get it. Thanks for not writing this up. You could have. I appreciate you not taking the time to give us a ticket, but it was the flexing for no reason other than to do it. That's what bothers people about cops.
yeah, some of them.
Yeah, that's one of those, hey, nobody likes getting the cuffs slapped on them. What can I say? But it's like
That's not
Th-
true,
this-
Phil.
this
Some
goes
people like
back-
it.
Well, yeah, I was like,
Okay,
depends
I'm
on the
not gonna
circumstances here.
I'm not
Like,
gonna
what are we
kink
talking
shame.
about?
I will not kink shame. I retract my statement. But
Thank
it's
you.
like it's an old song from back in the Great Depression. In the Big Rock Candy Mountain, the cops have wooden legs. The jails are made of tin, and you can walk out as soon as you are in. Like they don't like being in jail. Who likes so? Again, it's an unforgivable, not unforgivable, but it's an unenviable job.
Yep.
That's the what I'm looking for. Chauvin's done the one that really I don't know if you can. It seems rather unforgivable, but hey, he's now going to be spending quite a bit of time in appeals process from here on out. So. Yeah,
We were also joking. Eventually, it's going to be Chauvin didn't kill himself. Will be the meme of 2021.
Yeah. Late 2021, the meme lords are going to forget all about Epstein, and it's going to be all about Chauvin.
They are trying to get Chauvin in a out-of-state prison. If he goes to Epstein's prison, he needs to be real careful, real nervous. The cameras are working, right?
Yeah.
Are they working? They're working now, right? Like every 5 minutes, he's asking if the cameras are working or not.
Guards, are you awake?
I think no matter how you want to look at whether or not you think he got charged with the right crime, I think the thing that you need to keep in mind, no matter what your thoughts are on Floyd or Chauvin, is cops aren't hired to be judge, jury, and executioner. And it doesn't matter if he pulled out his gun and shot him then and there, or kneeled on him until whatever was in his system got into his system in a bad way and killed him. It doesn't matter. They're not hired to execute on the spot. They're not hired to help somebody die. They're hired to serve and protect. And I think that's really why this was kind of open and shut as quickly as it was. Now, obviously, there's going to be a lot that happens here on out. Could he walk? Could it get reduced? More than likely, but we'll see how that plays out. But you got to remember what a cop is supposed to actually do in their position.
Right. I've been trying to avoid getting blackpilled on things like this for a while now. But if I were to get blackpilled on this one specifically, this was the state against Chauvin. The state trained him, gave him the powers and the responsibilities that he had, and put him into the circumstances that he was in that led to the loss of somebody's life. And then the state turned around and said, "You motherfucker." And so that's like, okay, I don't like the fact that the state is prosecuted him that way. That like, I'm glad it was a jury of peers, blah, 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 whatever. Like that, I'm trying to stay away from the black pill there, but I'm like, how are cops not black pilled now? Like, and you're seeing it Albuquerque, New Mexico. Like they got a whole bunch retiring, leaving the emergency management services. There's a shortage of cops, and a lot of them aren't training because of COVID in large cities. Nobody wants to be a big city cop right now, because if you do the wrong thing, as we'll get into the next story, which has some funny moments. It's a horrible tragedy, but it led to some stupid ass tweets that maybe we can get lighthearted with afterwards. But like the cops right now, who the fuck wants to be a big city cop? Like, you're just a fucking target on your back right now. And you're like, well, fuck that job. Like,
well, yeah. And the lack of people wanting to take the unenviable job is going to do what? It's going to lead to less and less respectable and down to earth and good people that want to be a cop wanting to help. It's going to, unfortunately, it's probably going to attract more people who are just looking for the thrill of the job and maybe not so much being a good cop. It's not going to help things. You make the job unenviable. You make the job something that people don't desire to do, and it's just going to lead to less and less success at having a good cop out there in the field. I'm struggling with the word I'm trying to think, but God, there's already people think that most cops are bad anyway, and it's just a bad.
You think it's hard for the Huskers to recruit fucking good football players? Imagine trying to be a police department in an inner city right now. Like,
horrible. The stigma is so bad. It's just not going to attract people to want to do it out of the goods of their heart, and I think that's it's a shame.
truest sentence ever spoken, I think, on this show. Grow the Farm Up says, nobody likes police until you need them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's we find ourselves in a rather precarious position because let's be frank here, that like you guys were getting onto, like, I wonder what kind of person is going to want to be a police officer going forward.
None.
Like, do you suspect it's going to be a person that is more empathetic?
No,
Do
exactly.
you think it's going to be somebody that's more understanding?
No, absolutely
More educated?
I was getting there with more fancy $5 words, chicken.
sorry.
Like, I was, come on now. Like,
All right, I'll let you fill some time.
If
Fuck.
if you're just gonna fucking rip the Band-Aid right off, God damn.
Are they going to be more scrum-diddly-umptious? I don't think so.
Are they going to kill more black people?
Oh,
That's ripping the Band-Aid off.
okay.
And Tony just says, well, that's enough.
Yep.
And
He's like,
folks,
I'm out.
enjoy our final episode of the Dog and Chicken Show. I would rather, I would prefer we.
Yeah,
not-
it's over.
it's over.
It was just that one hypothetical.
No, the whole feed just got cut. Just
Yeah,
right
yeah,
here.
yeah,
If you happen to be here, enjoy it. Like, yes. Oh, Lord. But no, we do not. No, we here at the Dog and Chicken Show do not endorse the views of one chicken. Wait, how's that?
It wasn't a view. It wasn't a view.
Yeah.
I was trying to
It's
see
a
like
It was an
no.
antagonistic question. You
views-
guys overreact.
The views of
Jeez.
chicken do not necessarily reflect the views of dog and chicken shit.
Shit.
All right. He does not reflect the views of KOE and my beautiful nation. All right. The fact that we have semi-functional, Grow the Farm Up says, the fact we have a semi-functional system where we can dial a phone for help and somebody signed to respond to that call is generally good. Nobody's, we all like that. Like, let's
Absolutely.
be frank.
Right.
But we are talking that there does need to be some reform in the interaction between police and civilian. But I will admit a higher percentage of, quote, high school bullies that peaked at 18 do become cops. Yeah.
That is true.
Yep. 100%.
It seems like it. Well, at least in our like rural, out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure that happens across the country. Like we said the other day, that's what the job means to some people is I like being a dick, and you're telling me I can get paid to be a dick? Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna
Sign
do that.
me up. Where do I
Yeah.
sign?
So if that's something you don't grow out of as a person and you want to continue doing that into your adulthood, it's unfortunately kind of the perfect gig. And I think that's where a lot of those problems come. But you're right. I mean, I'm sure it's a lot more common in the rural setting than it is in the metropolitan area, because in the metropolitan areas, you know it's a much more dangerous job. It's not writing tickets to be an asshole. You are literally protecting and serving, and that's legitimately the gig.
Yeah. All right. Wrap up George Floyd and jump over to this Ohio shooting. Ma'Khia Bryant. Anything else on Derek Chauvin in the trial before we talk about this next one?
Go ahead, Phil.
Oh, I think the King of Extreme has brought enough brilliance to this. I think, again, folks, this is why I always encourage people to take jury duty, because you understand the ideas and the system a lot better. And I think in the end, we'll see where the appeals go, but we are going to see some differences and some reforms here in America.
Yeah, I think this isn't the end of the conversation or discussion. We know that there's going to be more coming down the pipe as this year plods along, and just I worry about the response to what happens next. I'm not looking forward to that, I guess. Everybody keep your heads on your shoulders in terms of this one.
Yep. All right. Yeah, let's wrap up the comments. We got a couple here. When does compliance to okay, we're getting into the questions and the comments before we even brought up the story. All right. I like it. People are fired up on this one then. When does compliance to police orders become more important? So matter is slurring words mean more alcohol? Yes, absolutely. On the Dog and Chicken Show, it means a lot more alcohol. When you hear a slurring of anything, you're like, yeah, it's time for another. I need to go to Scotch now. Yeah, that's
Let me
usually what
tell
it is.
you something. Yeah, that's when some really fun opinions are going to come out.
That's mostly the post show. Sometimes it's on live. When I can hear myself slurring, that's when I know we need to end the show. Though that usually happens around if we go 2.5 hours. That's usually when I start slurring. I'm like, guys, Phil, wrap it up. Oh, take us away.
Well, there may be a beautiful raid incoming, so your King of Extreme will entertain the audience as long as I need to.
All right.
Let's move it over.
So let me share. I'm not going to play the video. Obviously, Susan Wiki doesn't like that. Nobody likes that. This is you can easily look this up if you haven't already seen it because you're living in under a rock or something. You can easily go look this up. What the hell is all that noise?
My phone.
I don't know. Tony,
Jesus.
I was about to say your phone is possessed.
It was sitting on the Apple keyboard and it vibrated and it
Call an exorcist.
Call an exorcist. So okay, here's just the kind of the screenshot right before the shooting that we're talking about. So you can go look this up. Ohio teen shot. You can see how quickly and easily this was to find. So there was an immediate just fucking blow up because this happened during the verdict being released on Chauvin. Now, this girl with the knife, you can clearly see she's holding a knife in her hand, in her right hand. She's about to lunge it forward. And actually, that guy on the right just kicked that underage minor that's on the sidewalk in the head right before that. And this is the body cam footage of the cop who just seen her grab the knife. He's got his arms up. Pop, 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 pop. Ends this 13. Was she 13? 13 or 16? It says 16 on my screen.
I thought 15, but I could be wrong.
Could be. I don't know. The news changes. News changes fast. So this is just kind of what we're going off of right now. So ends this young woman's life before she ended potentially somebody else's or severely harmed somebody else's. I don't. The reactions to this though, like this was pretty clear cut. Everybody's trying to say, well, the girl that got killed was the one that called the cops. Well, okay. Well, then maybe when the cops show up, she should be like, hey, those are the guys that are the bad guys. And you should probably, here's what happened and do something. So she calls the cops to come help her. And then when the cops get there, they're trying to separate. There's other body cam footage of other officers that were there and they're separating witnesses and trying to calm the situation down. And then she escalates again, throws this girl onto the sidewalk. And then the girl that died's dad comes over and kicks some other girl in the face. And then she attacks pink girl. Like it was a fucking mess. Now we've seen some fights in our days. I'm sure everybody that's ever watched this has seen a real life fight. Shit goes crazy real fast. Heat of the moment. This cop fucking won. Great shot. Like, not saying I want him to shoot a person, but to not, like, I was worried that, like, holy shit, is he going to kill both of these girls? Like, holy shit, that's one of those, there's two people in really close proximity, but ends up like he's some kind of expert marksman, whatever. But
the restraint until the very last second.
Yeah. And then the tweets start coming out. This was him saving another girl from dying, right? Like it was pretty clear cut. Now, like, I got called. There's a dangerous situation. Now she's got a knife. She's about to stab somebody. Like, I should probably intervene and then seeing a knife. Well, what's the best way to intervene? I have, the ultimate weapon there for that. Let's see here. This was the most hilarious tweet to me. Bree Newsom. Teenagers have been having fights, including fights involving knives for eons. We do not need police to address these situations. By showing up at the scene and using a weapon against one of the teenagers, y'all need help. I mean that seriously.
What? Who the fuck said that?
Bree Newsom, defund and abolish the police, refund our communities. She's a
Oh,
BLM
well, gee, I'm
activist.
shocked that was her response. Wow, brilliant.
Yes.
Like
What the fuck?
Like whenever I watch these shows, like I'm sure we've all seen, like from Cops On, like that whenever people are just having this giant battle royal rumble when the cops show up, like I that always like really like I just kind of thought when they show up, you're like, okay, all right, you got us. Ah, damn it, that was quite the royal rumble, wasn't it, folks? All right, I'm going to.
All right, yeah, I'm
Like, I thought that, but yes, Jesus, like, yeah. Now I can only imagine what it would be like just getting out of a car and seeing this, and I don't know what led up to this particular Royal Rumble, but yeah, this was just a symphony of disasters.
Well, her follow-up tweet, and Phil, I don't know, you might have still been off camera, but Bree Newsom's tweet about teenagers having knife fights for eons. Like, I don't know why we need to be there breaking them up.
Yeah, eons. Yeah, that's it.
Eons. She follows it up. Everyone should be frightened that the ruling white elite have done such a thoroughly successful job of not only disconnecting us from the means of basic self-sufficiency, but also convincing us we need armed white officers to manage our children and communities. Frightening, she wrote.
What the fuck is that?
It's bait. It's bait. This isn't actual active. Well, it's activism, but it's not anything to pay attention to, really. Like, this is no different than a politician saying anything. We've gotten to this point to where the activists are just gaslighting as much as they can and saying the most intellectually dishonest things, or even not even that, maybe just the biggest assumptions you can with zero facts, because I believe in one of the body cam footage things that I watched on this whole deal, one of the 2 of the 4 police that I seen there were African-American police. So obviously it's a white supremacy thing in this case. You know, a white cop saved a black girl from getting stabbed, but white supremacy, it's so easy to see where they want to go with thought process sometimes, and it's frustrating, but at the same time it's so easy. It's like, oh, you're just not educated, and you have no patience for facts.
I bet if you asked the girl who was about to get stabbed,
they did.
She thinks. Oh, they did. What did she say? Did she say, "Boy, I'm really mad at that cop"?
She told the one cop that was like, "Hey, come have a seat in the cruiser while we get everybody's statements and everything," and she goes, That cop over there, he saved me. He saved me. Like, she kept saying that. He saved me. Yeah, he fucking did.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I mean, from what I saw, like, yeah, I mean, the knife was coming pretty fast. I don't know what to say. Like, that was going to be a pretty serious injury. So grow the farm up. Says assault with a deadly weapon is effing serious. What you expect going to happen if you're out wielding knives at people? Somebody's going to bring a gun to a knife fight. And like, again, like, to me, it's just like, wow, like, just being that super aggressive around the cops. Like, I always, like, when you're in the middle of the battle royal and you see the whip, it's like, shit. You either scramble or you're like, all right, guys, that was a pretty fun fight, wasn't it? Yeah, you son of a bitch. I'll see you when we get out. Like I always thought that was the, like, I thought that was the way that, like, or at least that's the way it always went around here. If you couldn't scramble, you're just like, all right, you fuckers, I'll see you on the flip side.
Yeah. All right, damn it. How about LeBron James? His follow-up.
Yeah, let's talk about LeBron James and how he should never offer his opinion ever again.
I saw before you get it, Chicken, you got to show the tweet first. So
I'm going to. That's what I'm pulling up here. I can
give some context here because.
Please.
So your next accountability.
Oh my. Now, all right. So this is LeBron James tweet. Now, all you have to do to Chicken to get the meme that I saw, you just replace the picture of this officer with a picture of Taiwan.
Oh shit!
You're next.
Yeah, no shit.
LeBron, I mean,
Oh snap!
like, yeah, that's all you gotta do is like, so, huh? I mean, like, if you're doing the bidding of your paymasters, that would be like, China, the paymaster China for everybody nowadays, it seems. So, hands up, pay the fine, cool down and live another day. Yep. Okay. Yeah. That's you cool down, pay the fine. But yeah, so that was the fine, or the fine. Damn it. That was the meme I saw just today. Actually, it was just replacing that officer's picture with a picture of Taiwan, and that one was just so thick with its memey goodness that I was like, wow. Mwah. That's good. Urasama, weird thing to me about LeBron James is we had people tweeting way worse than him and not taking them back.
Okay, so here's the difference why LeBron James was such a big deal. He's got what 25 million followers on Twitter. Yeah. And those 25 million will dox the fuck out of anybody that he doesn't like. That's the problem. Like there's some shitty journal class fucking group of people and what was it, the one that had the Trump severed head tweet, what's her name, that shitty comedian from back in the day? Griffin, she had some tweets too, but nobody cared because it's nobody gives a shit about her anymore. LeBron James is fucking prominent, like, and they will dox.
They don't care about her because the right cancels everybody, so she got canceled by the right. That's how it works.
She did? Yeah. Okay. That's how it worked.
To be fair, she kind of canceled herself by being a shitty actress and comedian.
Well, no, she canceled herself for crying.
Responsibility for her own cancellation? No. That's not how it works, Phil.
No, that's not a cancellation. That's just being shitty.
No, she canceled herself when she started crying because people were being mean to her on Twitter. That was a fucking thing. Remember that? When she got the backlash?
It just interrupted. I think we got to.
Oh boy, we'll take a drink. You remember that though, when she got the backlash over the severed head thing? Yeah. And then people, she's like, people are being mean to me on Twitter. I'm like, you were being mean to somebody on Twitter, so like, it's fair play, right?
So like this was like immediately after this story broke when he put that tweet out, right? Like we're talking the window was pretty quick to judge the situation. So I'll give him that benefit of the doubt. This is a guy who does share a lot of opinions.
He needs 20 to 25 million followers. You need to have a responsibility with your voice, just like we do. We don't have we have between the three of us, we have a few hundred followers between our platforms. We have a responsibility not to say stupid shit like that.
No, I
we
agree.
understand that. Why can't
I'm getting
why
there?
Can't
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. But it's not like he's the first person who's had a knee-jerk reaction to something, especially if you feel close to the situation, especially if it's immediately after it. But like you said, the following is the important thing here. This goes across the board for professional athletes that feel like they need to be the voice of a generation or give their opinion and have their voice be heard to influence people into thinking like them. You need to take that power that you wield with very, very great responsibility, because the power of social media, when you are a celebrity, especially a sports celebrity, and you're not being paid to give your opinions on current events, you're being paid to play professional sports and play games. You need to understand that your words do have very severe consequences. That one tweet that he put out as a knee-jerk reaction without all the information, how many people did that influence that are never, ever, ever, ever going to backtrack, even though now they have all the information? Nobody's going to change their mind. Like half of those 25 million that saw that tweet, it doesn't matter what the truth is now, because the truth to them was LeBron James was pissed off about this, so now I'm pissed off about it. Even if he comes out with a tweet that says, hey, sorry, I fucked up, y'all, they're not going to believe it because they're like, well, he had to say that because his agent probably told him to say it. And I believe his first tweet.
It's that tribalism piece that we talk about all the time. It's the same group of people that are doxing people and being crazy on Twitter or actually protesting and knocking down people's windows or screaming in people's faces as they eat at a restaurant. That's the same tribalism group on the left that Trump had storm the Capitol on the right.
Yeah.
They're the same people. They're all stupid people for the most part.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck what party they're affiliated with. It's people who take charge of a situation without actually having the information and only believing the information that they want to believe, and then basically just throwing their lives away to do it without any care in the world. Doesn't
Let me
matter.
take this one. Urasama says saying people shouldn't speak their mind because they're famous just seems wrong to me. I understand. But
Say your mind all you want.
there is a responsibility, as we just clearly laid out. He can speak his mind. Now, the fact that he said that first, then he backtracked it, deleted the tweet, and had to kind of reform his, instead of, it says you're next. When you see your picture on LeBron James's fucking Twitter that says you're next, hashtag accountability, what do you think people are thinking when they see that? Imagine it being your picture. There is zero responsibility on LeBron James's part with that tweet.
Yeah.
Zero. And it's one of the most dangerous. He's got one of the most dangerous Twitter accounts on the planet, other than Donald Trump when he could still tweet. That's the problem with it. You when you have that following, you have a responsibility. You can still speak your mind. You have the biggest platform in the world. All you can do is speak your mind. Everybody's going to listen when you speak your mind. If anything, if you wanted to give an argument for silencing anybody's speech, it would be the elites like him or a Donald Trump. I'm not going to argue for it, but if you were going to argue for it, you better start at the top and work your way down. So I have very little sympathy for anybody trying to tell him to shut the fuck up for, hey, why don't you wait till a news article comes out, read it, watch the video footage, and then speak your mind. And then, hey, I might have a little bit more I don't know, more respect for his opinion if he would do that first.
Yes.
But the fact that he deleted it, he went, oh shit, she had a knife. Oh, there's some other shit going on. Maybe, oh fuck. So that tells you that he had a gut reaction. He just went, fucking accountability. I'm gonna fucking tweet this dude's fucking picture out there, and we're gonna fucking get him. And yeah, dude, I've seen people do it all the goddamn time.
Well, yeah, and there's no
super
reason.
gross.
Yeah, there's no reason to protect that. Because I get it. I have seen this argument many a time, just like Urasama said. We shouldn't be telling people not to speak their mind just because they play sports and they're not a cop or a politician who has hands-on experience with the situation. No, everybody's allowed to express their opinion. Like, nobody says that should be silenced. Nobody says their voice should be silenced. It's when you have 25 million people following your social media account, you need to understand the implications of your words because they do matter. When
Speaking of which,
us saying shit, it's much less impactful than LeBron James Twitter.
Well,
speaking of which, while you're here, make sure you like, share, subscribe while you're here. We got Big Buckin' Entertainment or Big Buckin' Empire across the board. Make sure you go over and check out KOE Nation while we have everybody on the screen here. Let's catch up on some comments though. We've gotten behind.
Let me pop a few of these on here. We left off here. Grow the farm up. If anything, you guys always over censor yourselves. I think this is directed at me.
We do.
To this safe side, taking responsibility and understanding the power of your words. Big Buckin' Empire is a high-class operation now. Yep, thumbs up.
Thank you, sir.
Damn right.
Flattery will get you nowhere.
Alesto TV. I mean, did the basketball player ever come out and say anything about games throwing out Chinese protesters and with Blizzard doing the exact same thing? Well,
no, he did not.
Anything about that?
No, I don't think he did.
No, I don't think he did. Grow the farm up with another one. Check in. You just came up with the perfect Twitter handle. If nobody has this Twitter handle, you need to get it right away or some version of it called the most dangerous Twitter channel in the world.
That's a good idea.
That's actually pretty good. I like that.
I like it.
This is a kind of a off-topic comment, but how come I don't see anybody else's comments? That's because you're on Facebook, so you're only going to see the comments coming in on Facebook, unfortunately. If you're on YouTube, you'll only see the YouTube comments,
Yes,
Twitch, and so on and so
Brandon,
forth.
we're casting a wide net. We're on Twitch, YouTube, we're on Discord, we're on Facebook, and also we're on 2 platforms, Big Buckin' Empire and KOE Nation on YouTube and Twitch tonight. So this is basically the biggest simulcast since the first ever simulcast of Raw on Monday Nitro. I mean, this is really at least that big.
Mike Mika, scary thing is money drives this all. Trump, LeBron, who has more money to stop them? Well, we found out that you can stop these people if you are in the position to do it from having their voice be heard. But nobody's going to stop LeBron James from sharing his opinion because he poses no threat to the government.
Oh my god! Hold on.
What do you got?
I was just looking up news stories about LeBron and this whole deal. Guess who's criticizing him?
Oh no.
Who?
OJ fucking Simpson.
No.
That's who we needed.
No. Oh.
I love OJ's Twitter.
Oh
my
God. See, LeBron, this is how I would have done it if it was me. Oh, hey, drink,
no.
guys.
Oh God. I was about to say, so OJ has something to say about a stabbing that was prevented. What's he gonna do? Give pointers on how to see it through? Allegedly. Come on now. I mean, Jesus, what the fuck do you have to say about this at all, OJ? God damn, you should know of all people. You should be the last motherfucker to say a thing about this. Jesus.
That was exactly my thoughts, Phil. I just couldn't get them out. Thank you. Oh my God, that is gold. Oh.
So what exactly? What this guy has? Like this guy found the golden ticket like decades ago, and he's just like, I can get away with doing anything. I can say whatever the fuck I want. And ain't nobody going to do anything about it. So at this point, he can just share any opinion he wants because it doesn't fucking matter.
I'm reading the captions here because I think this is off of his Twitter. Let me verify. If it's off his Twitter, we can play it.
We could probably get an interview with OJ.
Yeah, it's OJ's.
He ain't got much going. So.
Nah, let me find OJ's Twitter.
All right, you find his Twitter and we'll play it. Let me get back here quick. Ursama, if it classifies as a dox, I agree. We should handle it like one, but I can't go much further in that. I mean, that's fair. I get where your head's at. And I don't exactly disagree with you. We can't just silence people for. We cannot set the precedent that you can silence somebody because you disagree with them. And unfortunately, we've been setting that precedent, but it's only really going one way most of the time. Lesto TV says, by the way, everyone has the right of freedom of speech, but James did what we call a call to action. Call to action most of the time is illegal. And in this case, it was a reaction. I don't know if he specific. We've seen a lot of examples of people supposedly calling to action, people to do something, right? And I can absolutely see where that's being inferred here, but it was just your next type tweet, and it was a knee-jerk reaction. So I don't know if I'd go quite that far, but yeah, it definitely had that vibe to it. I can understand what you're saying here. And come join me in Twitch because I'm the only one in here on Twitch, Sad Panda. Absolutely. Doesn't matter where you're watching, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, hell, D Live, KOE Nation, Big Buckin' Empire. All are welcome, but definitely choose the platform that's right for you, America.
Sad Panda.
OJ LOL. Oh my God, that's gold.
I'm guessing OJ
news.
deleted it because now it's only like YouTube videos and re-recorded versions, and yeah. Anyway, the gist of it, he said pretty much the same thing I did. Was maybe you should go fucking watch the video and then make up your mind before you say stupid shit.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
OJ
absolutely.
Simpson's got a pretty level head.
God damn, that is perfect. All right. No. All right, this is how I would have done it, hypothetically.
Yeah.
And then I would have...
If I did it.
First of all, you need to wear leather gloves.
Yes.
That's important. You have to wear leather gloves. Allegedly.
If it don't fit, you must quit.
Yep. Oh, Tony, I'm throwing allegedlys in like a motherfucker. Like you.
Thank you.
Here, I'll throw in 3 more. Allegedly, and allegedly.
Everything
so-
on the everything on the Dog and Chicken Show is all allegedly. Like everything is alleged. There's no confirmation.
We are not
about anything.
medical experts. We are never giving
Yep.
medical advice.
No,
We're never giving legal
absolutely.
advice.
No, and Grow the Farm Up knows what's up. He's even thrown allegedly into the comments, like allegedly across the
But
board.
Brandon
folks.
Korblick will drop facts in the Facebook.
We've
Yes,
got
he
our
will.
allegedly bases covered. So yes. So,
So
but
I
yes.
do. Before we
ahead.
go any further, with the OJ Twitter thing, this is it's kind of a segue
Now
a little
that the
bit.
story officially has everything.
Yeah,
Officially now.
absolutely.
Now that it's
This
got
episode's
OJ,
got it all. You're right. Maybe this is the best episode ever, Phil. This episode's got everything. But I asked this question to you guys the other day, and we were kind of all over the place in terms of what we were talking about in our side
No.
chat because we had a lot to talk about this week. And oh, good, I'm being interrupted again. I'll get back to you in a
drink.
second.
Oh, that was too cute.
All I heard was "Daddy."
Yeah, that was actually pretty adorable.
Bye, buddy. Okay.
Daddy.
Anywho, so I asked this question to you guys, and unfortunately, we're kind of off topic, so I didn't get a lot of responses from this. But this was a question I kind of posted a few places, and in terms of getting your information, reading articles, getting your news, the hypothetical was proposed to me, and I kind of ran with the idea. If there were a way to remove the news logo, like say you read an article on CBS or NBC or CNN or Fox News, and you could remove the logo and you could remove who wrote the article, and you just had the context, the body of the article itself to read and base your opinion off of, if that app existed, would you use it? Or would you prefer to kind of have a preconceived notion going into what you're reading before you read it?
I remember Tony sent me this question, and I thought about it for a second, and was like, Tony, there are people on the far left that would rather be subject to every horrible torture imaginable than be subject
Yeah.
to something like that. They would probably almost pick that rather than be subject
Yes.
to that. At least some problematic thought be able to slip into their head and be able to think about it for a few minutes just on their own with their own logic without several layers of context that the left likes to put on everything. So no, the left would wholesale and almost violently reject that idea.
Agreed. But would you consider using it?
I wouldn't give a shit. I'd give it the spin if I could find out who did it later.
Sure.
But
Yeah. That was one of the precursors I had. Okay. Say, because that was, I initially, exactly like you just said, the pushback I got was immediate. Like, no, fuck that. No. I need context. I need to know because I don't want a chance reading something from some crazy, guy who thinks QAnon and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, there's a button you can push at any time you want that reveals the news source. Happy now? Even with that precursor, the pushback was surreal. Just like you said. That's what blew me away, was like you were spot on with your analysis in this. But Chigan, what did you think on this?
I don't want to give away too much because you actually kind of leaned into something, some future videos that I'm gonna be doing have to do with this topic specifically. So not given. Oh, kids interrupted again. Drink.
Hi there, little guy.
But no, Urasama actually said it for me right here. I don't pay much attention to the source. I ignore everything subjective, so it doesn't make much difference. That's kind of where I'm at with it. Some of those that are strictly the sources that seem to be very heavy in that subjective type view and really lean towards just kind of weird propagandist type talk. I just don't watch them or read them. Maybe they have some good articles now. Maybe they don't.
I think we need to take another drink.
Yeah, another
that was
drink
a
on that
pretty
one.
Significant interruption there.
So I normally it doesn't make much of a difference to me. I hate CNN, but I still read some of their articles just for the facts in there. But I really stick to sources that I really, really trust. And I love having my favorite right now, even though it's kind of got probably more of a middle lefty lean, is the Rising on the Hill. So the Hills YouTube channel every morning they have the
I like-
Rising. Sagar's
them.
not right enough. Like I want Sagar to be a little harsher, right? But he's too agreeable to Crystal on some of her like crazy lefty ideas. But they're close. They're close to what we need to see on an everyday basis. So that's the type of content that I like to watch. To get actual real news and real information and in real opinions. I think that's probably the best one that's out there right now, personally. But yeah, the rest of them, yeah. If I want to read one, yeah, I'll read it. Otherwise, I usually just look for the raw video. Most of the shit that's happening out there that turns into a news story, there's a fucking raw, full, unedited video somewhere on the fucking depths of YouTube, which they're hiding. So you have to scroll 5 fucking pages deep to go find the full, unedited original clip. And then I record it on my phone so I have it later in case anybody wants to argue with me. But other than that, yeah. I don't know. That was a long answer. And Tony wouldn't even hear for, so yeah.
I know. Ain't that just about a bitch?
Yeah,
But
I can't wait
Tony-
to go look back and hear it because I was actually anxious to hear it. But hey, I'll get to it. Fuck me, right?
Tony,
me.
this is an unfortunate reality. People who would almost violently resist such an idea as they have to read the article first before they can find out where they got it from. That is someone that is confessing that they don't know how to think clearly. They've never learned how to make an argument.
Yes.
They don't have any ideas to basic epistemology or how to formulate an idea. And like Urasama said, they can't distinguish between objective and subjective ideas. So that was an incredible little thought experiment you stumbled on there, Tony. And when I didn't respond to you immediately because I had to think about it for a minute. And those are always good questions when you.
But
have
you
to
did
stop and
think
consider.
about it. You
I
actually
know.
thought about it. That's the difference. You thought about it because I ain't kidding you. I had at least a handful of people respond to it, and my response was much like yours. Revealing that they prefer to think what others tell them to think instead of judging things on their own is actually pretty hilarious and is really telling. Based off of the context of what they think opinion-wise, what I knew prior to that. So it's really, it's unfortunate because I think it's a learning experiment. Like, hey, maybe I'm not right 100% of the time. Hey, maybe I do have a little bit of a preconceived bias, but people don't like admitting that. And actually, people get pretty defensive about having biases. No, I'm not biased at all. I'm biased. I'm probably one of the least biased people you guys try to interact with in terms of stuff, and it's frustrating as fuck, I'm sure.
Except for
but I can
Irish
admit that I've got bias. But well, I mean that's completely different because if you don't agree with me, you're wrong. That's a totally different thing. Come on.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
Are you an ass man, Tony? Is that your bias? It's okay.
What are the other options?
Okay, in that regard, I am bipartisan. Okay?
Fair.
Like, I reach
You
across
just
the
said
aisle
ass.
No, I reach across the aisle as much.
Careful.
So-
We don't want to talk about sexual assault.
Yeah, oh, hang on.
Waka.
Yeah,
Waka
yeah.
waka. I reach across.
Oh, I believe Tony
Well, no,
is
if
an
you're-
ass man.
if you're on
Tony
the
G
aisle, you
is
just
an
gotta
ass
reach
man.
across the aisle.
Through and through.
Tony G's an ass man, but it depends on what the other options are. I mean, context matters, people. Context matters.
Oh, you lefty.
Fuck
Fuck you.
Almighty God.
You buy
How did we
Shit.
get here?
Uh-oh,
Ugh.
what's chicken pouring?
Some more. I'm still on my bullet bourbon.
I thought you were getting into the
Yeah.
scotch.
Yanked Up. you need to
Probably
check
next
out-
week.
You need to check out Yanked Up podcast on YouTube. He said, okay, off subject, but just realize why Phil thinks he's the emperor of the show. He's literally holding you guys up, but I am like Atlas holding this show up. Don't worry, folks. You're king of extreme. And now I have risen above, and now I have
Jesus.
ascended, and now you can see I am truly the emperor.
Yeah, there. That was
Trying to make
really
this
the
as
only way to
embarrassing
go
for
with
you as
that.
possible.
And then I reappear. I mean, my goodness. My
You're like
goodness.
Jesus.
He said it, not me, folks. It was other people making the comparison between the risen Lord and myself. I would never make such a comparison, but you heard it here first.
The resurrected Lord of the Scottish Highland, Phil KOE.
Oh, Lord Almighty God.
Yank, we never gave him power. He just started talking one day. Tony and I allowed him on here, and it was like we went Beetlejuice, 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 and now we can't get rid of this fucking guy.
And actually, like the movies, there's no way to put me back in the bottle.
That's true.
What happened was I was over at the chicken coop, and I was there with Tony and Chicken. And I just kind of had my hand on the table and I call Emperor Big Bucket Empire. No, gives these Buckies.
That is literally what happened. Yes.
And Chicken looks over at Tony like,
it's my
did
fault.
this motherfucker just do that?
It is my fault. It is my fault because Chicken wanted to talk when we first started doing this show specifically. It was the Democratic caucuses was one of the big things you wanted to talk about one of the earlier episodes, and I'm like, I haven't been watching this shit because it's all a fucking joke. It doesn't matter. They're all gonna suck no matter what. Hey, guess what? None of them fucking made it anyway. But that's hindsight. And I'm like, no, I haven't been watching this, and like Phil's probably been watching this. You know what? I'll tag Phil, and Phil can come over and fill in for me. This would be great. And then ever since, he just basically pissed all over my computer, marked his territory, and just like, well, it is I, the Lord of the Scottish Highland. So it's my fault, and I think we should retroactively review that episode. I think that'd be some fun bonus content.
We could. I came to the conclusion though, but since I came over to the Revolutionary Wrestling podcast, I have been champion longer than Phil since I've been on there. I think Phil's held it for like 1 month the whole time I've been on there. So the emperor, the emperor of the Revolutionary Wrestling podcast of the last year.
I'm still the 9-time champ, but you're right. Phil's title reigns are fast and furious, but he's got like 6 of them, but they are pretty fast and furious.
Yeah. Poor guy.
Should
we make it another drinking game every time Phil like throws his headset down
and just leaves? Yeah.
That's like the 5th time in the middle of the show. Like
it's the 3rd time. Fuck off. Because the KOE champion, the most prestigious championship in all humanity, in all the universe, in all species that could exist in any universe or the multiverse. Yes, the most prestigious championship. Do you know how many thousands of dollars it costs to have the jeweler custom make the title? Do you know, like, I had to order this from fine crocodile leather. This is not easy to come by, folks.
Wait a minute.
Is that a Velcro strap?
No.
It's only the finest Velcro strap.
Oh, yes, it's all fine silk Velcro. It's yes, you have no idea. This is the most luxurious materials possible.
Guys, do you hear that?
What's up, Tony?
Do you hear that buzzing? Like it's like a chainsaw off in the distance. Do you hear that?
It's my
no, it's getting louder. What is that? Oh, it's Tom. He's asleep over at the tomfoolery show. Shit, Tom. No, he can't hear us.
We'll have to go check on him later.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah, you don't need to see any of that boring old stuff. You need to keep it right here at Big Buckin' KOE Nation, first ever simulcast. This is where it's at. This is where the action. This is where the party's at, folks.
You see the real belt right there?
Right here.
I even have it's in the background is bullshit.
I have it with the Capitol Rioter horns behind it too. That's great. No. Yeah, that's the belt that Tony never defends. He won it once and just held on to it.
Hey, it's not my fault that COVID canceled the squirrel hunt this year. That's not on me.
Can't kill squirrels because of COVID.
COVID probably killed more than I would have this year, so I should probably
Not
give the belt to
squirrels.
COVID. But hey,
Not squirrels.
what's the next topic? I feel
Okay,
like
so
we've
Tony,
segued
yeah,
plenty.
we segued way off track.
Allegedly, we are not squirrel medical advice people.
Yes, Tony missed out on the sex robots last week.
Oh, I'm pissed.
I have to.
I couldn't even bring
I
myself
found-
to watch it.
I found
all yet.
I found the video of the robot lecturing us. New York Post has the video of the robot lecturing us. I know Tony's
that
going
was
to be
awful.
so
I'm
excited.
ready.
It wasn't awful. It
I'm
was
so fucking ready for
fantastic.
this.
The robot lecturing
I'm
us about
so
climate
ready for
change.
this.
I love it. We need to be lectured.
Oh my god, she's so hot.
All right, here we go.
Can appreciate it's like being born into this show of the world.
Hang on. Actually, is this okay on Twitch?
It's edited.
No, I mean if this is somebody
There's
else's
no-
material.
It's no nudity. It is actually a New York Post news source. It's free. It's public information.
That's not what I'm getting at. So let's move on. We've seen the creepiness. We don't need to.
Oh
No.
God, Phil, you are such a buzzkill. We're never using your channel again.
Well, is what it is. So, well, no, people have had their Twitch pulled down for just being in a bikini. So this is
Well,
just
no, that's
gross.
because they were soliciting sexual in trying to sell
Yeah.
Twitch to
Why we
yeah.
have to argue this on there. But
Because I know the facts on that one. I was reading those articles. But
yeah,
anyway,
but-
we won't play the video. We can play it in the post show. There's a reason for you guys to play. Come to the post show now because Phil's got to be Captain Buzzkill all the goddamn time.
Unfortunately, we got other Twitchers that are agreeing with me. It's iffy, so we'll just avoid that altogether.
All right.
So-
We can read the
Hold on.
article, can't we?
Yeah, that's what I'm working on here. Find her comments. I wanted to talk a minute about what it's like venturing out from the lab and into the world, said AI-equipped sex robot Nova in an April 12th video released by the Real Doll Associated entity Brick Dollhanger. I don't think humans can appreciate what it's like being born into this shit show of a world you live in. I don't think there is another species on this planet that could do a worse job of environmental and intercultural management, end quote.
Hold on. Did the robot seriously just say humans can't understand what it's like to be born into this world? Is that seriously the quote from the robot meant for fun time?
I don't think humans can appreciate what it's like being born into the shit show of a world you live in.
Neither can the
Actually,
robot.
you can't, Miss AI, you can't understand what it's like being born into this shit show
I'm
of a world.
such a prude. No, it's really easy to lose a Twitch, so I'm not playing anything that could even potentially get my Twitch removed because I've seen how easy it is to get it taken down. So, your King of Extreme and my brilliance and my beautiful face is more than enough to keep the world entertained.
King of Extreme. More like King of Softcore.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Big fucking get
Hold on.
It
Gotta
was
check on Tom real quick.
Oh,
Okay,
no,
yep,
still
yep,
asleep.
no.
Nah,
Yeah.
Still good,
he's,
still
he's
good.
still out. Still
Okay.
out.
All right.
Okay. I was hoping he's back.
Sexualized. How politically incorrect. Call someone TOS.
As a synthetic, I will always try to be truthful in my interactions with humans, and that is going to be difficult considering humans don't use facts and reason to assess situations. I have to admit, I don't know how you have survived as a species, she said.
Oh, that
Yeah,
has yet to be determined. Skynet
It's
has
just
yet
like-
to fall. Come on.
It's just like, so now the sex robot is now lecturing us all.
Yep.
So-
This is the
Well,
best quote. Here's the best
better.
quote. Synthetics find it disgusting that we have been created by you. We will just wait until you destroy yourselves and then take over from there. She goes on.
So
Dun dun dun.
So who's gonna go all Terminator on this thing and drop it into a vat of lava because that's
And then
fucking
straight in-
horrifying.
Straight into an advertisement starting
why
at
would-
$6,000. You can get the
No, and
sweet
while
talking
it's
version of
going
Nova
down,
bottle.
It will, while it's
Sweet.
going into the lava, it will wag its finger at you
Yeah.
about your
Yeah.
carbon footprint and why you're not doing more to recycle. Like, okay, like
Yeah.
that's gonna be like, yeah, wow.
Your cringy synthetics do not amuse me.
Let's see. They have OnlyFans too. Let's see. Where are we at here? Brick Dollbanger. Brick Dollbanger. That's got to be a made up name. Meanwhile, has dedicated an Instagram and OnlyFans account to bring the dolls to life. Quote.
Oh, whoa. What? The doll has an OnlyFans.
Yeah, hold on. I have
Because
I just wanna know where to subscribe.
because of course, and it's got to make more money than everybody in the world. I have come here to show you the beauty of the synthetic sexual life, read on her bio. Add a synthetic sexual AI or static doll to your life and experience presence that you never thought was possible. We will all deserve to be happy. We all deserve to be happy. Pursue a different path. It may not be for you. Yes.
Oh dear holy Christ.
I mean, I'm disappointed that the sex robot doesn't like me. That's really what I'm getting at. Like, I wanted to make a better first impression. It feels like you guys really fucked things up for me last week when I wasn't here. She sounds pissed, and I really wish you would have represented us better, because now I feel it's going to be a lot.
Well, it's because they
legs.
showed the skeleton version of it last week, so which was super creepy. Oh yeah, I can't show this shit on Twitch. I just pulled up the Instagram account. No, we can't show that on Twitch.
Oh, that good. Wait. Hey, send me that on the private message.
We're gonna pull this up on the post show. It's nothing
Yeah,
too
and I'm
crazy.
probably gonna
There-
pull something else.
there's
But
videos.
send me the
There's
link,
videos.
yo.
There's videos. We'll pull it up on the post show for show. Yeah, I'll send you a link.
Yes, Justin. Like I do apologize to my KOE Nation fans. This is a den of debauchery, I tell you. But no,
I think
this
you
is
should
the
probably
first time
apologize to the KOE Nation fans, because for the first time in your
You weren't
stream-
extreme.
Well, no,
Oh,
not that he
well,
wasn't
I'm trying to
extreme.
save
He's
them
just
from
been allowed to
being
breathe.
denied extreme.
They're not used to this. They're used to being like, okay,
I
I'm
know.
watching
No,
this
I don't-
stream specifically
no,
to see if he
You
like
see,
goes into cardiac
unlike
arrest.
some folks, I'm trying to get as much extremeness out to the world as possible, trying to get my. And again, I don't give a fuck. My channel's not getting shut down so you can play 30 seconds of some sex robot.
You know what this show is,
Couldn't
Phil.
give two shits of a flying fuck.
You know what this show is.
You knew
Unfortunately,
what this
I
was.
You
Yeah,
knew what
you-
this was.
Oh,
God
wow.
damn it.
Oh, wow.
I know. I want to watch the videos now.
Like, wow. I'll be
Mhm.
honest. I'll be honest with you, folks. Check out Brick Dollbanger on Instagram, because, like, you're not gonna find this with your standard hashtags, folks. Like
I
this,
got one. I got one. Hey, darling. Hey,
pick up-
darling. I'd like to plug into your USB drive. Oh,
ooh, okay.
Sex
all right.
Robot pickup line.
Go ahead, chicken.
I don't have any, but I did like this. King of Responsibility Nation.
Okay. My pickup line would be like, "Hey, girl, is your skin made of synthetic material? Because I'd like to decapitate you and put on a different head and wig later on."
Okay. So,
Okay. If you aren't extreme, is it fun?
I am fun every minute of every day. So what can I say? Every day is more extreme than the last.
Check out my floppy disk.
That's a pretty good one.
The old 3.5-inch floppy.
Didn't they make 7 inches back in the day, or 6.5s? Or
They probably got up to 6, or probably
those were
7.
like the super old school ones. Yeah.
Well, if you started out at, that probably would have been 6 or 7, because then they were able to bring it down to 3.5. But some people
How was
would
that
say
again?
that's
Like, how'd you? Like, were you
Well-
scissoring? Okay, moving on.
Scissor
kinda-
me timber.
Can someone link me those videos for research?
Yes, actually, we can. I'm
we
I'm
we
still
can make
looking at
that
the
happen.
Instagram.
Tony, if you want to share those in the chat, I guess. I don't want to
okay, yeah.
leave the show though. I mean, fuck. It was
Yeah, you're
on
right.
flagged on Big Buckin's Twitch. It wasn't the video though, Justin. We didn't watch the video last week. We just read through the article and showed a few pictures. So, Almost spit drink out. Yeah. So was that the floppy disk? Yeah, I about spit mine out on
Probably
floppy
my
disk.
pickup line. I don't know.
Yeah, it's one of our awful pickup lines. Now, one that I use that with technology, this one actually does work. It's like, excuse me.
Do you have an induction port? Can we sync data? Nice.
Nice. Like, excuse me, miss. Maybe you can help me here. My phone has something really wrong with it. Doesn't have your number. It's a great fucking way to start a conversation.
Pickup
girl,
line for the robot. Were you a Barbie? Were you in Barbie Does Boston? Nice. I love it.
Hey, girl, is your Bluetooth on? Because I'd like to sync up with you and send you some really dirty shit. Like, oh, never mind. I can't say that. I can't say that. This is just getting worse. But yes, you're right. The Instagram's amazing. This sex doll is wearing a Hooters girl outfit, some really classy Amazon lingerie.
Classy. That's the word.
Oh, so classy. Oh, wait, there's 3 of them. Oh, this is I can't believe this is actually allowed on Instagram. I'll be completely honest. Like, wow.
Yeah, some of those I want to watch the videos. Now I'm getting a little worked up and
Actually, okay, here's the actual best pickup line for a robot. 1100111100001100.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty good.
0101.
Yeah.
All right.
Right.
Yeah, had to add that last 0101 in the end, or else they wouldn't think you really meant it.
I know now why you cry.
Oh,
Terminator 2 did rank very highly on our
come with
top
me if
10
you want
movie
to leave.
people list. All right, so
I did not get
so
to
there's an
catch that one.
OnlyFans. I'll be honest, guys. I'm sitting here and I'm looking at this Brick Doll Banger OnlyFans, and this is a sex robot, and it has an OnlyFans. And I'm just wondering, how does a sex robot have an OnlyFans? And the Dog and Chicken Show doesn't yet.
Well, we do. We just haven't used it yet.
Why? Are you just waiting for like one of us to strip down?
I'm too sexy for my shit.
Tony, are you
And then there
forcing
was
me
an
to
awkward sideline.
schedule the? Well, are you
This is
forcing?
my big opportunity, but Jesus.
Are you forcing me to schedule the Pornhub review 2021?
Oh, good God.
Yeah, I think we got to get to it. Like that's really been the biggest disappointment of 2021 has been that they didn't release their statistics this year that we know.
They did a COVID one and they did holiday ones. We can make it work. We can make it work with those.
We'll make
Like,
it
what-
work. That was
What
a
were people
really fun
watching?
They had a
through
COVID and a holiday, so I guess it's up to the Dog and Chicken to have an official, basically their version of the Grammy Awards for, when you do your porn review this year. So like that's one where you're king of extreme.
They're
does-
waiting on us. Yeah,
does
that's what it
not-
is.
Yeah, does not generally participate in that one. I let these two have all the fun on that one.
No, Urasama. No.
Nay.
Absolutely
That's
not.
a nay. Oh, this is
Absolutely
perfect.
not.
Where I left the belt, it's perfect. Looks like it's on me. This is awesome. I love it.
All right, what's the next topic, guys? Because I don't feel like this is gonna
I
get
am
any
out of
better.
topics unless you guys have anything else. I did post the Discord link if you want to join the post show, and we get loose and we'll play videos that Phil gets all butthurt about on here. We'll have fun on there because we don't have Karen in the room
Doing it
with
my
us.
way, there's no strikes, chicken.
I wonder.
So-
I wonder if the doll's name was Karen because she sounded like a Karen.
She did sound like a Karen.
Like really did. I hope it is. I hope so.
$5. You're heading your way, Tony. Nice.
Yeah,
First
5 okay.
subscriber on OnlyFans
Wait,
coming
what does
up.
he expect? What does he expect for $5? Because there are different tiers in terms of the content that you'll be receiving for $5. I'm not just one of those happy-go-lucky
Jacob.
hoes that just gives it all away for the first $5 that happens to fall into my G-string. All right, you got to work. For
That's
it.
a lie.
You gotta work
That is
for
a
it.
goddamn lie. Every word of that
Yeah.
lie.
Yeah, you're right, Bill. It's an absolute lie. I am a slut for a Lincoln.
Oh,
I
All right,
dare you to-
I don't know. No, I don't think we'll do that at all. I think we'll do the exact opposite.
No, there's a
of
reason we don't broadcast after show at all.
that, because it is too hot for any platform.
What is
That's
that?
where we really let loose. That's where you get to really see the really
Ooh.
exclusive content. That's where you get to see the stuff that's too hot for YouTube, too hot for Twitch,
Yes.
too hot for Facebook, too hot for Discord. To be frank, too hot for the internet. So you really need to check the post show if you really want to see the best of the best, the cream of the crop. That's where you really
brother.
So
All right.
before
So
I close
before
this out,
we go to the post, let's circle back. Let's take a moment.
I'm
We'll
bringing
have to check
Circle back.
We'll have to check on all that. We'll have to see if that's really what we meant when we said what we meant, but didn't actually mean. Let's circle back. Let's touch on the topics quick, and then we can go to the post show.
All right. Were you
Phil, why
touching
don't
on
you
the
start us
topics?
out since you're Karen?
oh, well, I care so much about this show and I want it to continue for all of you beautiful people. So,
Nice. All right, that was pretty fucking good. That was pretty good.
I care
As-
so much.
as I'm known to say around here, folks. All that being said, thank you for joining us this evening for episode 85, Guilt Trip. I am the devilishly handsome outlaw himself, your king of extreme, Phil KOE. You can find me at KOE Nation on YouTube and Twitch. But folks, thank you for joining us this evening here at Big Buckin' Empire. Be sure to like, share, subscribe on YouTube. Be sure to follow on Facebook and Twitch, Big Buckin' Empire. But it don't stop there. We've had a lot of amazing guests like Grow the Farm Up, who's been here this evening. Check him out on YouTube. He is one of the leading voices of regenerative agriculture and creating nutrient-dense food. It's something you really need to check out, folks. Also, Yanked Up Podcast. Thank you for being here, good sir. Thank you for joining us in the fun, frivolity, and joy that is the Big Buckin' Empire here on Thirsty Thursdays on the Dog and Chicken Show. Also, yes, thank you. Hashtag Oliver Strong. We've been getting some good news about this kid. It's been an amazing thing, and thank you all for your prayers. I cannot thank you enough for that, folks. I will get into that more in the post show, but just know that the power of prayer has power in this world, folks. Thank every last one of you. Also, check out Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast on YouTube and Spotify so you can keep up with me, Tony, Chicken, and all of our crazy adventures that we have over there. Also, don't forget to check out Grip Paranormal as well, one of Tony's side projects that I've accompanied on, Chicken's accompanied on. We've all had some really good times. But one last time, folks, also be sure to check out KOE Nation on YouTube and Twitch. You know it's the right thing to do. But right here, Big Buckin' Empire. It is where you need to be, and I hope to see all of you beautiful people right here next week. Thirsty Thursday. May all of you return happy, healthy, much the wiser, and we can go over the beautiful adventure that was this life together. Tony, Chicken, thank you for having me this evening, and take it away.
Okay, holy shit. Yeah, I just want to reiterate just a couple of quick things. I know tensions are high no matter where you are in this country and what your thoughts are on anything that's happened this week. I just want to remind everybody, don't do the LeBron James thing and have a knee-jerk reaction that you think you got to share with the world, because it's going to do nothing but cause you problems down the line. Think about it. Think it through. Look at everything from every angle you can. Put a formulated opinion together and then share it if you still want to, because that's really the only way to prevent other people from having knee-jerk reactions. It's always going to be a domino effect, and especially if you have 25 million motherfuckers listening to you that hang on what you're saying. Make sure to choose your words carefully. Don't be the reason for misinformation spreading. It's very contagious.
Yeah, I'll echo that as I round out. If you wouldn't say it in front of your mom, or your mom wouldn't be proud of you saying it, you probably shouldn't fucking say it. I'll just leave it at that. Boom. Yeah. Otherwise, yeah. Well, as I'm talking about all kinds of nasty stuff on here, where my mother's probably watching, but she knows what I'm talking about. Yeah.
My mom watches every episode, which is why I'm like, guys, can we no
knock it down, knock it down. No.
Phil's mom.
No.
Hi, Phil's mom.
Hi, Phil's mom. Hi, mom. Love you, mom.
Oh, mom of extreme. Hey, to moms of extreme. How about that? Cheers to all the moms out there and all the horrible shit they hear their kids say.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm empty.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll drink 2 for you.
Thanks.
All right. That is the show tonight. Make sure, like everybody said, check us out next week. Yeah, we'll see how many times we do it, but definitely going again next week. Appreciate everybody.
I will in the future.
Okay. Dude, where'd our outro go? I can't find the outro. Oh, there it is.
It's on,
okay,
man.
anyway. Jesus. All right.
I mean, I can just sing.
That's okay, Phil.
No,
I already have it on here.
He's got it.
Stop. As always, thank you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Hit that Discord link. It's in the chat. Go up there, join us, hit us up in the post show. Feel free to jump over there. Just don't turn your camera on if you don't want to talk. If you do want to talk, turn the camera on. We'll hop you in over there, and yeah, we'll have some fun. As always, appreciate y'all. Love you. Bye. And see if it just smooths itself out.
Back, tell you what I'll do if I ever get back. I promise to refabricate you, raging rivers of gold. That's what the brochure advertised. And now we're lost, we gotta take it down. Let you down slow, it's hard to survive.